Commemorating the contribution the Chinese community has made to Dunedin, the southern city is now home to an authentic Chinese garden, but it was there at the official opening.
It's been 10 years in the making, and now with great pomp and ceremony, the Dunedin Chinese Garden is finally open. Present are local councillors and dignitaries, government officials including the Prime Minister, and officials from Dunedin's sister city Shanghai, who played a major part in the design and construction of the garden.
This is a part of China here in Dunedin. And I'm sure that my grandfather, when he came out here in 1910, would not have ever dreamed that there could be something like this here today, because it's been a project that, although it's a Chinese garden, has been very inclusive of the wider community who have been part of the partnership that has created this.
There were firecrackers which proved too loud for some guests, the unveiling of a plaque in front of the entrance to the garden, followed by the releasing of goldfish into the garden lake.
It says so much for the descendants of the early Chinese people who now live in Dunedin today, that they've seen the vision for this project, seen what it could symbolise, got the city council behind it, got the government behind it, got the people of Shanghai and their government behind it. We've had so many partnerships in this, and it really symbolises all these connections we have with China.
The design is based on an urban scholar's garden from the late Ming, early Qing dynasty, costing $7.6 million.
Site as well for the Chinese garden. Chinese gardens and scholars' gardens are urban gardens, so they're in the centre of town. So this garden must be in the centre of town for easy access of people, and it's close by the water, which is very important as well. So when the Chinese saw the site, even though it was a desolate car park, they could see the potential and thought that it was the perfect site for it.
40 artisans flew in from China to help build the garden, the first of its kind in the southern hemisphere, and one of less than a handful outside China. And this is the garden's Kung Bridge, made from special stones. If you are single and walk across the bridge, you are bound to find your true love soon. And if you are married, you will be happy for the rest of your life.
Everything you see here, above ground level, was built in Shanghai. There are 380,000 handmade tiles, 970 tonnes of Taihu Lakestone rock, 130 tonnes of Jinshan granite, and all these structures were pre-built in Shanghai, carted over here in 99 containers, and rebuilt with 40 Chinese artisans. The plants themselves come from New Zealand, so these plants have just gone on the ground, and they'll take a few years to mature. But of course, gardens, this can only get better. In 10 years' time, it'll be a truly magnificent showpiece. And of course, it's a truly magnificent showpiece now. For me, the best part of the garden is the rock. The rock symbolises what they call the scholar's rock, the spirit rock, and it represents a grandeur of nature, and you can use your imaginations to roam through the mountains. Probably now they're stopping mining it, and so we're very lucky to get all this out.
My favourite part is that courtyard just by the scholars' study there, because it's peaceful, it's warm, and those pebbles there, I watched them being placed into position, the care, and really it was a loving, tender care that was given to them by the artisans there. And I've sat there on a couple of occasions just enjoying the peace and tranquility. When I retire, I want to be a volunteer here and to work here, to be able to show people through the garden, to talk about the garden, to talk about what we did and what happened to get the garden, and what it means to me, what it means to just the community of Dunedin.
The garden at the corner of Rattray and Cumberland Streets is open daily. Check out this website for details.